All right, today is Tuesday, February 4th. You're gonna see this on Wednesday, February 5th. This is my Wednesday weekly update. The past couple days, I've been on rock energy, which is literally just sitting there and doing nothing, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But today I'm at least at turtle energy. I got up at 7:30 this morning and it's almost 1 o'clock. And it's taken me that long to get ready, but I at least got ready today. I did not do my hair and makeup the last 2 to 3 days because I just couldn't move, couldn't really talk, and didn't have a lot of energy. I canceled a lot of family plans because I just couldn't move. So, what's been happening over the past week since last Wednesday? I've had this I've started hospice with a really bad cough, but it's been even worse. I've been calling my lungs snap, crackle, and pop over these past weeks because that's kind of what it sounds like. And what's really interesting, the one thing that has been consistent is the inconsistency. I remember I posted my last week update, and again I looked down and up because I take notes and I don't really want to miss anything. So just interesting, last week on my weekly update, I said, I've been less sleepy, and literally right after I posted it, my cough became worse and worse and worse. And then I went from turtle energy to rock energy, and I just couldn't even move. I was practicing something that I call don't wake the bear. That's what I would literally say in my mind. I would say, don't wake the bear. So what the heck is that? Well, I would close my eyes, I would lay down super still, and I would go into my third eye point, and then I would breathe as shallowly as possible. But then what was different, most of the time when I do that, I'd get comfortable and I'd fall asleep. But what was happening is as I would relax, almost like this popping, crackling, wheezing would actually start happening when I'd relax, and then it'd wake me up. It did help when I would put in my earbuds and listen to meditation music, and then I couldn't hear it. That did help a lot. And also my heating pad, and also not talking or moving hardly at all. That's really been my past couple of days. Now luckily I am on hospice and I have access to a nurse and a doctor. So my nurse saw me yesterday and she's like, it's not you. I had no makeup, didn't do my hair. She saw how much I've just been sitting on the couch and everything, and she ordered me lots of drugs between her and the doctor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna show you a few pictures and videos from last week, as well as what I was trying to do this morning. All right, today is Monday, February 3rd. This is what I look like for the last, 2 or 3 days. I think I got a cold in addition to the cancer. I just took a really, really hot bath, which I think helped a lot. I've been actually trying not to talk, so this will be very short. I have a nurse visit today, a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I've just been trying to lay still and not cough. I did, with the money that my school gave me, I finally decided what to do with it. I bought a recliner that has massage and heat, because I did find when I was in Minnesota sleeping in my father-in-law's recliner, that helped a lot. So when it comes, I will show you guys, and again, not gonna really talk too much right now. I'm gonna have a little lunch and then pretty much just lay down the rest of the day and try not to move and try not to cough. Again, a very fine balance between trying to get up a little bit and move things around and also rest so that I don't continue to get more sick or whatever. Tomorrow I will review that data, which will be February 4th, Tuesday. And maybe I'll also review what the doctor and I talked about too. And so this will be posted on Wednesday, February 5th. Alright, all my meds finally came to try to kick this cough out of me. Yeah, that's a lot. So I'm going to read them and try to figure out a schedule about when to take them all. Alright, it looks like I'm going to be doing something pretty much every hour today. I think a lot of that is because the steroids and the nebulizer. Then as the week goes on, I'll reduce it. Alright, so here's dorky me. This is what I look like when I wake up in the morning. And then hopefully I'll feel better as the week goes on. Alright, so one of the things that I'm realizing is my immune system is not that great anymore. Even though I like to get out and about in the community, and I might be withdrawing in some aspects, I don't mean to. And it's not necessarily that I don't want visitors, but I don't know what I'm gonna be in, if I'm gonna be healthy, not healthy, how long it's gonna take me to get ready. Like today, it took me from 7:30 to 1 p.m. to get ready today. So we'll see. So yeah, my immune system's not that great. So I guess what I've decided to do in my head is almost rewind 5 years and pretend like I'm living in 2020 just to kind of protect myself. Because when I do get these respiratory things, just a common cold or whatever, even though it might really affect someone else really poorly, it really knocks me out. And it's harder and harder for my body to recover from that. So I kind of have to start protecting myself, I think, a little bit more, because it's just really kicking my butt. The other thing that's interesting is I've been watching a lot of Survivor shows. Anyone who does know me, and if you don't, I've literally watched all seasons of Survivor. I'm not like you might think I'm like a super fan. I don't know every single thing. I don't know the names of all of them. I've just watched them all. And to be honest, part of that was just laziness. When I sit down to eat, I like something to watch, and I don't want to think about what to watch. And there was 47 seasons, so. But I also do like knowing about how you would survive in the wild and things like that too. Many years ago, one of my obsessions for a year or two was to just go around my neighborhood and know what kind of plants everything was, and know what you could eat or not eat, and what they were supposed to be medicinal for, and all that other good stuff. Anyway, I've been watching shows like Outlast, or what's the other one I watched? The Summit. But especially the Outlast one, where they're dropped in the middle of Alaska and they literally have to make their own shelter and fire, and they're given some tools, but they literally have to forage for their food and everything. God, it makes me so grateful that we live in today's time. I cannot imagine having this and then having to like live in some teepee or sleep on some pine boughs or something, you know, in 30-degree weather. So I'm so thankful that we live in today's time and we have drugs that can get us through this. But I guess that's also why my roommate said that back in the day, the life expectancy was only 30, and I can probably see why now. Okay, Okay, so that's how I've been feeling. And then if you do or do not know me, I like to take how I'm feeling and also compare it to data, because data is more objective than my feelings. But I think both are valuable. It's kind of interesting. Last time my blood pressure was a little low. This time my blood pressure was a little high. Google said it's stage 1 hypertension. I think that makes sense with how sick I've been and maybe some drugs I've been taking to try to feel better. Probably haven't been eating as much either. Sometimes it does feel like my heart's a little strained sometimes, or my pancreas or my kidneys. And when that's happened, I try to be really careful about the drugs that I'm taking, and I try to rest a lot more. But more often than not, I don't feel that way. So I think I'm okay. My pulse, my temperature was normal, my color's great. My respiration rate is high normal, which again makes sense. You can hear the wheeze, you can hear the cough. I am struggling to breathe a little bit. But even with that, my oxygen is 96%, which isn't bad, considering like I'm having a trifecta. So I have cancer that's producing lung nodules. I caught this cold or whatever the heck it is. I caught bronchitis. And then you add that with asthma, which most of the time I don't even know I have, unless I get like a respiratory illness or something. So I have kind of like a trifecta going on. So it's pretty good that even with that trifecta, I have 96% oxygen rate. Now, one of the things that my nurse and I are learning is that, and even scans in the past, the nodules are really only forming in one side of my lungs and not the other. So I think I still have one pair of lungs that's working normally, which is probably why I'm still able to breathe, and I don't feel like I need oxygen, like extra oxygen at this time. The other thing I like to look at is what I call like the hospice checklist. These are just very, very general checklists. This is the you have 6 months to live checklist. There's a 3, and then there's like a weeks and days checklist. So even though I'm on hospice and I have a terminal illness and they say you have 6 months or less to live, I have been on hospice for 2 months and all my vitals are still good. And according to the 6-month checklist, I can still take care of myself. I'm still thirsty and hungry. Now in the past, I would probably eat 1,000 calories per day on average. Maybe that's still what I'm eating, but being sick and not moving probably reduced down to 500. Probably need to get it back up a little bit again. Over these past 4 days or so, I could barely move or do any chores, so that's been reduced down. I am hopeful that once this respiratory thing, the meds kick in, I'll be able to do some more chores again. And while the cancer has spread in my bones and to a little bit in my lungs, it has not spread to any other major organs like my brain or my liver, my kidneys or anything. So that's actually a really good sign. I have noticed that sometimes it is a little bit hard to swallow foods that are drier, especially. So like if I'm eating chicken soup and I have crackers, I put a little bit of the broth in my mouth with the crackers. Or I need to have some sort of liquid to help get drier foods down. So I do notice that. So I guess in my mind, I've been thinking, well, maybe we're down to like 5 months or so now instead of 6. But I think that's just because I've been feeling so bad. Maybe I'll see next week if I feel like I'm back up to remarking it to 6 months again or not. How I feel and what I think is always dependent again with how I feel, and I really have not been feeling well over the last week or so, but I do believe that's because I caught a respiratory illness in combination with the cancer. I don't think it's just the cancer. So join me next week as I see how I feel on that checklist again, because the meds should be kicking in by then. Let's see. So today, this week's plan, literally today, is just I have to take meds every 2 hours or so. So it's just going to be taking the meds, resting, and feeling better. That is going to be the plan for the week, and to do any little things I can and to try to get back up my strength. All right, I was up from 7:30 to 1. I was on Turtle Energy. Took a shower, did my video, ate a little lunch, and I think combined with all the drugs and then trying to digest, my pancreas area feels a little stressed, my head feels a little light, so back to bed for a nap at 1. I have a whole new respect for people with CF, cystic fibrosis. Mucus in the lungs, man, is not fun. I tried to lay down to go for a nap, but I couldn't sleep. The cough is kicking my butt. But am I still okay with the decision I made not to continue cancer treatment? Yes. Because even though this is super annoying and really hard, probably for some people around me to hear, who actually have to live with me, the bone pain was worse. I couldn't actually get relief from the bone pain. I would have to say I do get hours of relief in the morning from like 7:30 to 1. And then when I take my second big round of meds, like the Mucinex and the antibiotics and all that other stuff, I get a second big round of relief. And I can still sleep at night. Where with the bone pain, I was having a very hard time sleeping. So, yeah, if there's anyone out there vaping, consider stopping, because lung stuff's not fun. The other thing that kind of sucks too is the coughing happens a lot more after I eat, because it moves kind of like through this area here, you know, in your stomach area where kind of like the lungs meet the stomach. And then the stomach pushes on the lungs that are having the issues. And that's when all the coughing is going to be worse. But I have to eat for several reasons, just to live. But also if I don't eat, my head, my organs are really stressed by the medication I take. So eating is kind of a big deal. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm not posting anything new, I don't think, in regard to poems and poetry and personal reflection. I have been reposting on my Facebook and uploading videos. They're not in the right order on YouTube because I've just been posting TikTok videos as I can. But on Facebook, I am posting poetry that I wrote about love. Because I think we should focus on more positive things, and February is the month of love, so there you go. Anyway, I hope you have a terrific Tuesday, a wonderful Wednesday, or whatever day it is that you're watching this. And thank you for joining me on my journey, and I'll see you next week.